Well, the first round of the election cycle is over, and boy, was there news in that. Israel is on fire, and a legendary coat drive is starting up again. We've got two coups, Pat Shingleton, and the High Sheriff. Roll it, Scott. Well, last weekend was something. The election cycle has gotten started, and we're going to get into that even heavier with analysis with John Couvion with JMC Analytics. But first, the High Sheriff is here. Sid Gautreaux won an election again last Saturday without a runoff. 86% of the vote, and the man is mad he didn't get to 90%. What's going on, Sheriff? How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, my brother.
Let's talk about it. This is quite the endorsement by the people of East Baton Rouge Parish.
Well, Clay, I'm very humbled by it, and I'm blessed. And I know it was, and you know, it's a tribute not to just me. I mean, it's all the people, men and women that work in the sheriff's office. We got some wonderful men and women that work in the sheriff's office.
Since you have taken over office, there have been so many aspects of law enforcement from the sheriff's office that have been different. Yes, you have been very focused on enforcement. Yes, getting bad actors off the street. Yes, going into neighborhoods and making certain people know that law enforcement is there. But you balance that with an investment in people, particularly young people. And when you started doing that, that was really new to this part of the state. Why is that such a driving factor for you?
Well, I learned it early on, you know, when I was chief of police in Baker, and I was there 27 years. Mm-hmm. And I realized, I've known this since I pinned a badge on the first time, we're in the people business.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't be there today and gone tomorrow. You got to be there every day, and not just in an enforcement role, like you said. That's very important, but you got to do as much or even more with community outreach. Mm-hmm. And that's why we started the community policing unit, and that's why we started bike patrol and all the things we do, because the public, if we're not out there with them on as much as we can on a daily basis, doing those kind of things, talking to them and seeing what their problems really are, then, you know, sometimes we go in an area and we think this is what the people want us to do here, but when you get to talking to them, that's not as high on their wish list as some of the other things. So, you know, it's just, you know, and it's all it is. It's just treating people the way you'd want to be treated, and listening to the people that you serve and what their needs are, and implementing it. Because as law enforcement, that's all we do. You know, we serve. And I tell all these young people we hire, I hope you're here for the right reason, and the right reason is to serve. That's all we do. We don't manufacture some good or sell some commodity or whatever. We provide a service. And the ones that have the true servant heart and the true servant mentality, they do well in this profession.
In your time in law enforcement, what has been the biggest thing you've learned? I mean, having been, you've been an executive over agencies for a long time, the Baker Police Department and now the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office. What's the biggest thing you've learned?
Well, no matter what you're dealing with and no matter what's in front of you at that time, you know, you've got to look at it from its totality and then do the right thing. And you make your decisions. And when you make that decision, you have to know. And when I first started, got my feelings hurt real easy. But I've learned that you're not going to please everybody. And you know, there's some people that are never going to be happy with what's going on. But you always keep it forefront in your mind that here are the people you're serving, and do the right thing. And that's the biggest thing. And I try to keep my focus and my compass right there where it should be. And I've done that, and I'm blessed with it. And I'm at this point in my life, I'm not going to change.
People talk so much about crime nowadays here. I mean, it's the #1 topic that comes up, as you know, almost over everything else. It's even supplanted traffic as the #1 thing we complain about, and we can talk about traffic. What is your opinion now of the nature of violent crime in our parish?
Well, it's totally out of hand. You know, I know everybody wants to tout statistics.
Give me another minute in here too, Kyle.
I know people want to tout statistics, And statistics are a good gauge of where you're going, but the one statistic that matters to me is how you actually feel as a citizen. If you don't feel safe, I want to correct that. And you know, we got a lot of people out there that no matter where that crime stat is, they don't feel safe. And until we try to get those people in a frame of mind that, yeah, I do feel safe. I know they're here to help me, but it's trying to change that perspective in law enforcement.
I want to ask this question in the last minute we have. What's your plan for this next term? I know you've got some changes coming. At the top of your to-do list is what?
We met yesterday, in fact, with the staff, and we looked at all of our past accomplishments, and we looked at the long-term goals and said, where are we with those? And we've been fortunate to accomplish most of them, but over the next 4 years, I want to try to do something with the prison and, you know, do what we can there and, you know, continue our services and try to improve on our services, and that's what we're going to do. And the one other thing that's real big on my calendar is trying to get you to buy me some sea bass.
You beat me to it. I was saving that.
You were.
Listen, man, it's been 4 years you've been avoiding me on this sea bass. We both enjoy sea bass at a certain establishment here in town, and every time we talk about doing it, he's busy that day. What's going on? Well, you won the election now. Can we finally go and have lunch?
Hey, and it's my treat. It's my treat.
Got that on camera. Let's make sure we have that. We're putting it on social media. Love you, brother.
That's right. Love
the
you
High
too.
Sheriff Sid Gautreaux, winning again, very much an asset to our community, and I'm proud to call him friend. Let's take a deeper dive into these elections next with John Kuvion, and then what's happening in Israel is just mind-boggling. Colonel David Kuvion has perspective on that, and then Pat Shingleton, Pat, Coach for Kids. Man, that's so wonderful.
That's a great program.
He's here to talk about it. Back in just a moment.